have decided to start early today because I have had a long day and it's been really hard to manage my time. I know I was supposed to start at 7 and then I pushed it back to 8. And now I'm like, you know what? If I start a couple minutes early, I can probably um, end a couple minutes early. Yes. I don't want it to sound like that, but man, it's been a heck of a holiday. I don't know if any of you guys went to Knott's today, but um, oh, David, I was going to ask you if you wanted to come on today because I actually I might show some of your video, your peanut celebration video because there's a lot in there, man, and you explain it a lot better than I ever could. So um, if that's okay with you, obviously, I don't want to step on toes. I feel like I'm always biting your style, but you come up with all the good ideas before the rest of us get a chance to. What can I say? I'm always last to the game, but I hope everybody's doing okay. I know the winds are coming back, so that always stokes a little bit of fear in the hearts and the minds of LA residents. But hope everybody's safe. I know the Palisades fire is still going out. It's at like 23,000 acres now. And thanks, dude. I appreciate it. This just so I have a paper trail. I got it explicit. What is the word? Uh, um. Oh man, I don't know. He does get the good stuff. I know he really does. He always knows what to get. But I got it. Explicit written consent from Adventures with David to use his video. But anyway, like I was saying, I know that hope everybody is safe, everybody's happy, everybody feels good. There's been a lot of things that have been happening, so hopefully everybody's able to kind of move with the times, and we can keep positive and keep optimistic for this upcoming Peanuts celebration. We can celebrate with the Peanuts gang the only way that we know how, happily. In case you were wondering where I was going with that, happily. Um, so yeah, I think I have the right thing. I wanted to. We'll just kind of go over. We'll start. We'll start with the. You know what? Actually, David, I'm gonna let you. No, I'll. We'll start. We'll start with Knott's thing, and then with all the. They have their list of. They don't have their food. I tried to get. I tried to get a hold of. There we go. That's couldn't say it better myself. Saying safe and positive vibes to everyone. It's up to us content creators to keep the positivity going. 100% correctamundo. Positivity. Everybody's a winner. That's what I always say. Um, we're gonna let Knots kind of explain this, however they do it on their website. Um, so if you didn't know, Peanut Celebration is running. It's the February 8th to March 9th. And it's only on weekends this year, which is new, I believe. I don't think they did this last year. Now, a lot of the stuff that they do, they weren't only doing on weekends last year too, but they didn't. I don't think they made this claim that they're only open on, or that they're only doing this on weekends now. And then just President's Day, which is February 17th. Now this is only. It's weird. It feels like it's also like a week or two less. That's okay. This is just kind of a kickoff thing. But also, I think I want to. It's fine. We'll just. So anyway, but you can get the sweet peanut celebration shirt. I don't know if you've seen the peanut celebration stuff yet. They're starting to slowly kind of drip it in. It's okay. The the peanut celebration stuff is always a little too loud for me, so I have a tendency to stay away from that merchandise. I do have peanut stuff. I've got like the coffee thermos and stuff, but I don't have any shirts or anything like that that are um, repping the peanut celebration. But anyway, so here is our entertainment schedule. We're gonna start at the beginning. We'll get to that. Um, so they're bringing the show back, Snoopy's Legendary Rooftop Concert. If you have not seen this show, this show rules. This might be my favorite show on the Calico Mind stage, of any show throughout the whole year. A lot of people, that's probably a hot take for a lot of people, because a lot of people would assume that I would enjoy the, what is it, Carnival du Grotesque, I think is what the thing that they do during Scary Farm, the circus, which is fun. But it's been the same thing for so long that I kind of it's that's this has also been the same thing for so long. Um, but I don't know, Carnival du Grotesque. It's just kind of, it's gotten a little droll. I like the music for that show, but you've never seen the Dapper. You've never seen the Legendary Rooftop Concert. It's so much fun. It's so cool. So it's as a musician, I can appreciate like kind of the legends and the cameos and the calls that the callbacks that they make, and Snoopy doing his crazy Beatles tribute, and Mick Jagger, the Rolling Stones tribute that they do, Queen, and all the big legends to rock and roll. And if you've never seen Jelly of the Month Club, they're a very good band. They're really good entertainers. They make it look easy, and if you kind of know, and if you've peeked on the other side of the curtain, um, you know that it's a lot of this stuff is not easy. Um, but switch it up. You know, yes and no. I think the hanging's got some work to do. I feel like Jeff kind of mailed it in this year. I spoke to him a little bit on the last day, because they canceled all the shows for the last day because of the rain. And the stage was just too slick for the performers. And he seemed okay for the season to be over. I know they went through a lot this season with the whole stuff with Disney, and some of the stunts, or some of the effects not working, and some of the effects working too well. But he seemed more excited about what's going to be happening next year. I think a lot of people want it to be less goofy. I mean, it's a goofy show, but from what I've seen, just from comments in the shows, from people I've talked to, they kind of wanted to go back to kind of what it was when they were hanging the witch. You know, when they were hunting the witch, and a lot of people didn't really like the who did they hang last year? The year before, I think the year before it was Karen's, right? I don't remember. Last year, I think it was Justin Timberlake, which is weird. But I don't know. It just anyway, yeah. With the hanging would be good to have there too. Uh, but I understand why they have it in the theater, because they don't want to offend the wrong person that just happens to be walking by. I think maybe they just put the hanging inside the Walter Knott Theater, go all out with the production, do something crazy there, and then in the wagon camp, you can put something low key there. I don't know, just kind of off the top of my head. Keeping the hanging away from the general public is a good idea, though. If you want to have offensive comedy, I think that's just because of where we are. That's just kind of it's probably the best bet. You only need to go see it because it is very good. I think so too. The hanging in the Walter Knott Theater. It would also show that they appreciate it a lot more than the love they're showing it. But on the back to the Legendary Rooftop Concert, awesome show, so much fun. It's great. The music is good. It's funny. It's very, it's campy. It's goofy, but it fits. It's a great show. Life and Art of Charles M. Schulz. The Life and Art of Charles explores Schultz's personal history as his role as the sole inspiration and artistic talent behind Peanuts and its unique cast of characters. The exhibit follows Schultz from his Minnesota roots to his life in California and tracks the development of his characters that make the unique world of Peanuts. And if you don't know the history of, you know what? Actually, now, David, I'm going to use your thing, because if you don't know the history of I think I have it actually queued up. I'm gonna queue it past the Whittles thing because we talked about you, David. I think we talked about the Whittles thing. I'm gonna share this instead. Oh, big beautiful face, that big beautiful smile. Um,
No more. Once the Roaring Twenties came around,
okay.
Mr. Whittles was gone. That's when, in the 1980s, Marion Knott, the daughter of Walter and Cordelia Knott, decided to actually turn to Disney Imagineers. They actually advised her that they need to find a character widely popular for their brand new mascot. So, in 1983, they did just that. Knott's Berry Farm became the first park to license the Peanuts Gang, which, again, they were widely popular for MetLife, for Chex, other businesses and advertisements as well.
Candies.
That is really incredible. Snoopy now is the mascot.
Hey, Snoopy, how are you? It is great to see you once more.
So that's if you that's kind of that's a history of how Knott's came about getting the Peanuts IP. The history of Charles Schulz is much more deep and serious than that. And I'm not going to get into it in depth of Charles Schulz's history. If you want to know, it explains a lot of it. It's in the town hall in Calico, which is where they have all of the what is that? It's the like all the courts and stuff during Ghost Town Alive. But it's a really cool little exhibit that they have of Charles Schulz in there. That honestly, I don't know why they haven't made a movie about Charles Schulz yet. I mean, they've got one about Walt Disney. Charles Schulz led an interesting life for sure. He really did. And that's saying something. Yeah, it really is. If you haven't had a chance, I would go read up on it. It's interesting. It's very cool. All right, and then Peanuts on the Go Cavalcade. This I'm looking forward to this probably the most because I've never been able to experience this. This is something that I've wanted to do since I've known about Peanut Celebration a couple years ago. I know that they I've seen videos. Andrew is asking for peanut butter park ice cream when I'm done. This is the stuff that I get. Bring me peanut butter park ice cream when you're done, and then I get to see my baby. But so anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I've never been able to experience this, and I've always wanted to. And I always felt like Knott's should do more of these cavalcades. A lot of other parks do them, and I don't know why Knott's doesn't do more. Even if it's just like the characters that they have with the Coyotes and Boysenbear and Whittles and just the characters that they have and Peanuts. Just because it's a experience, and I like the idea of them coming around in the old cars. And I know, David, I think you said that they stopped doing it because they were having problems with the vehicles. If that's the case, then I know that they used to come out in the trolley car, which is kind of cool. I would love to see that again someday, but it is what it is. But that's cool. So they're bringing that back. They're just going. It's on memory lane, so they're going to go around the Charleston Circle, the fountain. They're probably going to get out of the cars there, dance around with the kids, have meet and greets, and you get to see Peanuts characters that you don't get to see all the time. I know a lot of the times, the year-round characters you'll get. You don't even get really Charlie Brown a lot. I see mostly Snoopy. Obviously, I see Snoopy. I see Linus. I see Franklin. And I see Peppermint Patty and Marcy. But Schroeder, I don't ever see Schroeder. And I see Lucy a lot, but I never see Sally. And I never see Pigpen unless he's in his Pigpen. So you get to see Pigpen, which usually they have the little piggies. They did a couple years ago. I don't remember if they had the piggies last year, but they had these little piglets in there the year before, and they named them all after like rides and stuff. And it was awesome. They were the cutest little piggities you ever saw, and they were hilarious. They would fight each other and race and eat food. It was fantastic. Okay, so anyway, this is the big one. Let's celebrate. So this This is the daytime entertainment that's gonna be on the Calico Mine stage. The nighttime is probably 5:30, 6 o'clock is when they're gonna do the legendary rooftop concert. So throughout the day, you'll have Let's Celebrate. Celebrate a momentous occasion of Peanuts celebrating their 75th anniversary. Keep that in mind. 75 years of Peanuts characters. Knott's Berry Farm presents a heartwarming musical tribute on the Calico Mine stage. Snoopy, Charlie Brown, and all their friends, as well as a host of singers and dancers, remind us why Peanuts are still beloved after 75 friggin' years. I added the friggin'. I agree. Wish it was just a bit longer. The vehicles are old and vintage, so issues do arise. And I think that's kind of cool because that shows that they're genuine. You know, they are actual old vehicles. So they're not just like made up. They're not just go-karts with a faux outside, you know, a faux body and whatnot. So this Let's Celebrate thing is, if you remember in years past, this is on the Calico Mine stage during the day. They had the It's Your Life, Charlie Brown, which I mean they had that forever. So they're going to try something new this year. I feel like this is kind of going to be along the same lines as It's Your Life, Charlie Brown, less geared towards Charlie Brown himself and more towards the entirety of the Peanuts gang. Probably a lot of Snoopy, um, the introduction of Franklin, and maybe get some cool Vince Guaraldi facts and which is they do all the scoring for Peanuts, the Vince Guaraldi trio. This is probably going to tug at heartstrings, though. I'm assuming I may get a little teary eyed seeing it because I think one aspect of Knott's Berry Farm that um, I hold near and dear to my heart, and I think this is why I consider Knott's like my favorite park to go to, is because um, I grew up with Peanuts probably more than any other cartoon. I mean, I grew up with Looney Tunes too. I love Looney Tunes. Don't get me wrong. Um, but Peanuts, I grew up with all the specials. I used to read the comic strips, the 3 panel comic strips every day in the morning before school. Uh, I had a bunch of the old cartoons on VHS tapes, just scattered around my grandparents' house. Um, and the music itself is enough to kind of like give me all the nostalgic feels. But um, this this may be hard to get through for me the first time, and then I'll be fine. But I am excited to see this because this is something that I 100% will be able to see. Um, I'll probably see the rooftop concert too. I usually do, but getting there at night is usually a little bit harder to get there than the day. And then Peanut Sketch School, which goes on the Birdcage Theater. This is really cool for if you have kids that love to draw. Um, they have an artist come and he sits in and he's got his page is projected onto a sheet up on the thing, and he kind of goes over how to draw certain characters, certain Peanuts characters and stuff. And the kids kind of follow along and they can trace designs and stuff. And it's a lot of fun if you have kids that are all about that. Can we get your take and opinion on which one on the Let's Celebrate show? Okay. I think I kind of so here's I will say this. So I told you I am excited for it. However, the other side of it is and I feel this way about just not shows in general. I feel like um their shows are so formulaic now, and it's like this with a lot of theme parks. It's um let's bring out characters, let's have some songs, let's dance around and call it a day. I feel like there's no creativity anymore. I wish if Knott's did anything, because they're obviously not going to have the biggest coasters, they're not going to have the most magic. Um, but they 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 have the ability to be creative in other ways, and their shows a lot of times showcase that. And I wish they would do something just someday to kind of color outside the lines. I would like something different. Not necessarily like avant-garde crazy, but like how Ghost Town Alive is different. No other parks are doing that. And I know this is a stage show, but I wish it was something other than, I couldn't tell you what, but I'd like to see something other than bring the characters out and let's sing some songs and let's talk about this and everybody's happy. Big musical number. Good night, y'all. I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about it. I couldn't I couldn't tell you the first thing about how I would go about doing any of this off the top of my head. Running on an hour and a half of sleep, but that's kind of how I feel. I'm excited for the show, but I wish it was something more. Oh man. Word on the street is we're gonna get like all of Snoopy's family. We can get Belle, we can get Spike, we can get oh man, what's the fat one's name? Oh, it's like Christ. I don't remember. The big one with the tongue. But we may get a lot of Snoopy family. That's I don't know how true that rumor is, but it has been Olaf. There you go. I was like Hugo, Olaf. Yeah, yeah. But we may get something. Oh man. Speaking of, did you at Woodstock before the pandemic? They haven't brought him back yet because there hasn't been a person showing up for the costume. Well, maybe they should look into whoever Universal is hiring for Toad and the Minions, because they seem to be getting them all. I mean, I don't know if you've seen Toad. He's 3'5", and whoever's playing the Minions. Oh, well, that stinks. All the good stuff happened before I got there. I'm starting to wonder if I'm the problem. Spike Silent Disco. Oh man, see? Spike Silent Disco? You kidding me with this? How cool would that be in the Boardwalk Ballroom? Why can't they do that? That would be awesome. I'm sure they're not going to do anything in the Boardwalk Ballroom until they get rid of Cinema Slasher, because we do, or at least offer them, a side gig. It'd be great. Work 3 days at Universal, 2 days at Knott's. There you go. 5-day work week. Boom. Get your hours in for IATSE or whatever union you work in. Man. See, I missed Woodstock and I missed Spike Silent Disco. I missed the just when they would just have the 80s dance in the Boardwalk Ballroom. They did it during Boysenberry Festival. I think 2022 was the last year, right? I think it was 2022. So man, I'm assuming that hey, welcome, Cat Bravo, CB for short. First time here on Alive. You made it. We all made it. We're all here. But that's okay. So that's the schedule. I try to ask our Knott's Adventure for if they knew what food items they were going to have. But no dice yet. Maybe eventually we'll have the food. I know they usually, we have what, 2 weeks until this starts. So I'm probably in the next couple days, right? This is my assumption. The next couple days I'll have. So the word is no mac and cheese. It's not gonna be a mac and cheese type. It's so funny. Like that's how like everybody's first reaction for Peanuts food is just like, is it gonna be more mac and cheese? No, I think they tired everybody out of mac and cheese. I don't even know if people get mac and cheese for their side orders anymore. Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool. So my bell in the box, the Zodi sticker price tag on it. Keep that close. It'll be worth something someday. Those it's probably worth something now. I watched this last Christmas. They Apple TV has, because Apple TV has the rights to show Peanuts shows, and they did a Christmas special with Peanuts, and Snoopy's family all like invaded his house and all stayed with him and just made a mess, and it was hilarious. And Spike was there, and because Spike's the old grizzled one, and he all he wanted to do was get another family photo. He had an old family photo when they were all puppies, and that's all he wanted to do was get another old family photo. And every time he'd try, like things would happen, like they'd break stuff, and he eventually got all bummed out, and he was going to leave. And long story short, obviously they got to take the picture, and it was very sentimental, and everybody was happy. I didn't. I know our Knott's Adventure went to. I know you went to Knott's today, and I heard it was a hoot and a holler. David, I don't know if you went to Knott's, but I stayed away. I was up in the mountains. I was up in the cabin for the last couple of days, teaching the kids how to shoot guns and fight off the cold. It was like 35 degrees with like nasty winds, but it was fun. We had fun still. But that's Peanuts celebration. It looks like there's not going to be anything too fancy. Because the page, they really don't have anything anything crazy with it. We can actually, let's do this. Boop. Hold on. I'm gonna screen share, especially. You should. Yeah, I don't either. I'm gonna have to. So worse than Saturday. I'm not surprised. Usually when they have the Monday holidays, it is generally like nutso, which is why I follow this mantra. Usually don't attend on weekends. Yeah, especially on Mondays. It's a funky. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing that people love Knott's on holidays. So let's take a look at. So this is what it looks like now. It's not so bad. Look, there's nobody in the. Well, I guess they close in 40 minutes. So, but a lot of people didn't stick around. I guess if you wanted to get rides in before you left. I wonder how many people were on the log ride, because it was pretty. It was like 70 today, but it was like super windy. So I don't know. Was Supreme Scream running today? And what's it called? Accelerator. I know Accelerator's been going out every once in a while, and now all I can hear is Crash saying if they have to deal with Accelerator anymore, they're just going to shut it down. I hope you're not right, Crash. I really do. Anyway, I just wanted to get on and talk to you guys about that a little bit, about Peanut Celebration. Try to get people excited about it. I know I'm kind of low energy today, but I'm trying to be as packed as I could. Toon says today was crazy packed. I left early because of the crowd. Our Knott's Adventure did too. You got nothing to be ashamed of. I didn't even try to go. I didn't even cross my mind. I don't go on holidays. We went to Six Flags last year on Labor Day. Probably the stupidest thing we could have ever done. It was nuts. Thank you, David, and thanks for letting me view some of your stuff, man. If you guys, if you don't follow Adventures with David yet, you really should. He's so like. It's not just like the content. It's the fact that he cares so much about the content, and he does his due diligence to learn about it. Not just Knott's, but he also he does like all the cons and stuff that he does. Like, he doesn't do this stuff for clicks and views and whatever. Sure, that's part of it, but he does it because you can tell he genuinely loves it. He loves to talk about it, and he loves to be there. And heart and soul is something that's really hard to come by these days, and David's got plenty of it. It's all in spades. Chicken to go, call it a day. Good call. That's how you do it. Oh, by the way, in one of my last videos, I posted that I didn't know what one of the songs was that they were playing in the marketplace. I haven't known it for years now, but somebody finally commented on the video. It is "I Remember California" by REM. So finally, we have answers. So I think I know that whole play. I think I know the whole playlist now in the marketplace. I'm very proud of myself for that, you guys. Very proud. I'm gonna go to sleep because I got a big day tomorrow too. I'm gonna be at Universal, and then so that video should be out Wednesday, I hope. And then I'll be at Knott's on Wednesday. May go live at Knott's Wednesday, or I may go live at Universal tomorrow. I haven't figured it out which park I want to go live to. Thank you. I learned this one from Squid Games season 2. That's a heart too, I think. Like and subscribe to Adventures with David. Oh, you mean me? Like and subscribe. To click on that. No, I think that's just I don't know what that is. I'm getting delirious. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. I may just appreciate it, brother. I may go live tomorrow, so I have something every day. We'll see what happens. It's really hard. It's hard to go live at Universal. There's too much going on. But the crowd was, I mean, the park was dead last week. So maybe. I know Andrea wants to ride a bunch of stuff that she never gets a chance to ride. I tried to ride Mario Kart, and it was a walk-on until you got to the part where you get the little hats. And I stood there for 20 minutes, didn't move, so I left. Because my patience is so good. Anyway, but I will, and I'll try to get another live stream with my buddies, like David, maybe get you on again, maybe get Crash. Try to get Andrew, SoCal Tall Guy, and Dalen back on. Make it a party. Yeah, so till we see you up on the mountain, out at the studios, at the farm, or here in my dungeon, we'll catch y'all on that flippity flop.